So I got great news. I had my last day at my job yesterday. So as of today, as of this morning, I'm an entrepreneur. And as an added bonus, in my morning walk today, going somewhere, I discovered this beautiful place. It's just outside the city that I live in Exeter, and I never knew that it existed, but as I was going somewhere, the map led through a green area, so I said, let's go for it, and I discovered this place. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I live in the United Kingdom, in the southwest, in a pretty quiet and calm city, town, somewhere in between, called Exeter. And as of yesterday, or more precisely, yesterday was the last day when I was still working my retail jobs. So 24, and what happened was that I moved here back in the spring, and I also launched my podcast on personal development called Valiant Growth. But to fund myself, I also took a part-time retail job, and it wasn't a bad experience. I learned a lot of interesting stuff. I did pretty well, but I've decided that as 2017 is coming, I want to take the leap and go full throttle on my podcast. I just want to do it. I think it's just time. It's time to take the leap. And I have a little bit of savings and a very tiny revenue stream associated with my podcast. So right now, it would look like I'd have to go and take a job in a few months. But it is my hope that if I put my full focus and my full effort into the podcast and into producing really high quality content, something that people really enjoy, that I will be able to raise enough money to fund myself. Something that I've been doing for the last 2 years has been going really frugal, so I got to a point where my budget is low. It's $500, around that area. It's £500, $600, depends on the month, depends on the expenses, but that's the neighborhood that it's in. And I have some very radical plans of cutting it down even further, which I might have to enact should I start running out of money, which will be very interesting, but that's subject for another time. So what I decided to do with this recording right here and the future ones to come is to give video to people so that they can see who I am, because normally I'm just a nicely edited, no blunders voice on the internet, but there's no face associated with it. There's no real person associated with it, and I want to change that. And as I've been doing this personal development podcast called Valiant Growth, increasingly I toughen my standards, and I've set out to create something that's very actionable, that if you listen to an episode, you would guaranteed get something out of it, get something that you can do, even beyond ideas, something that you can act upon while maintaining the intellectual stimulation and getting to the really cool ideas, of which there are many, on how to build life skills and just how to have a better life. And there are certain topics that I cannot discuss there because of that. I chose not to discuss there because of that. And sometimes I just want to put out content that's less structured and a little bit more freestyle, a little bit less of a crafted piece and more of just my thoughts and ideas, and that is something that I can do more frequently, and that is something where I can put a face to it. Now, the other part of this experiment is that I'm using nothing but a pretty old phone, a 3.5-year-old phone, and I don't have any fancy camera. I don't even have a mic. I have this little earplug thing that has a microphone in it. I might use that, but that's it. And although I have a mic for my podcast, it's not portable. It's not really portable because it relies on a power source. That's number one. And number two, I just want to see how far I can get with a very minimal budget, because if this will be even moderately successful, if this kind of lifestyle grabs people's attention and they get a benefit out of it, that means that it's possible to produce a web show for $100 or less. Basically, most people have a phone, so you just take the phone and you do it. So it's an experiment in that. And the other thing that I've decided is that every upgrade in tech, every upgrade in equipment is gonna come from viewer funding. So if people just want to watch and that's it, they can take the quality, they're fine with that. It's going to be just this going forward. And if people will want to see it improved, I will set up a donation system where we're gonna build the equipment up. So it's an experiment in that as well. And so what you can expect from this this channel and this kind of video feed is, following my experiment in entrepreneurship, is the first time that I really want to build my own income source that I'm in control of, and to really schedule my own time. And that's pretty scary. And I hope to succeed, and I hope it will be a documentary in that. But even if I fail, I think there will be a lot of lessons to be learned. And some of the topic, I will talk about that. That's probably going to be a main one, entrepreneurship and my own journey. But I'm gonna touch on the subjects of Valiant Growth, productivity, personal finance, relationships, self-knowledge, things like that. And also I can address some of the things that don't fit Valiant Growth, which is morality, politics, and philosophy, and other non-actionable stuff. So that will all go into this channel. It's going to be a little bit more entertainment, and this balance, entertainment, education. This will be more entertainment, a little bit more loose. So I hope you enjoy it. This is the first video. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of the quality. Is this something you'd be willing to watch? I'm curious for your opinion, but I think I'll find it out through the views. So thanks for listening, and here's to many more episodes in the future.